Hey, well, welcome back to Working Class Customs YouTube channel. Welcome back to, I guess not back, but welcome to North Carolina Circuit for Automotive Research. That's what this place is called, NC Car. This weekend we're calling it NC Bike because we're here on bikes, not cars, which is great. And with that, we're here to bring you another bike review. So behind us, we have insert year here, Yamaha R7. I had the opportunity to ride this, not actually here, but down at Barber a couple weeks ago. And so I figured I'd talk to you guys about it for a little bit and give you my opinion on how it measures up as a track bike, essentially. I mean, that's what we're doing here. With that, if you like the bike reviews, track reviews, we are here at a new racetrack, so we're gonna get another track review out. So make sure you're following the channel. Best way to do that, click the subscribe button down below. While you're there, throw a like on the video, and then let me know throughout the video what questions you might have about the R7 and what do you guys think about it? Because well, we'll get into the video and we'll go from there. Stick around.
Check 4 minutes.
All right, so as I just said, I didn't have a chance to ride this out here this weekend, but I did ride it down at Barber Motorsports Park. If you know anything about Barber, it's a great track. Great place to test almost any bike, I would say. It's not necessarily set up for one vice the other as far as big or small or whatever. I'd say they all run there pretty well. If you haven't been to Barber and you're kind of curious, go check out our track review. We'll have a link up. I don't know what corner it's gonna be on, but we'll have a link up here. Go check it out. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this R7 here. The title of the video is probably gonna be something along the lines of like the lazy man's bike or something like that. So that's how I feel about it. Now, that being said, I'm not just gonna come out and say like, if you're lazy, you can ride one of these and you can ride it well. But I will say that the parallel twin, it's got a lot of low end torque. And it's kind of just like, I went out there and rode and almost didn't matter what gear I was in, like any gear, pop in that gear and the bike had something, right? And it wasn't necessarily like everything all the time, but it was kind of any gear, any RPM, the bike had something. So that being said, like the big things to note about this bike are there's no electronics. There's no quick shifter. I think you can add a quick shifter to it from factory. It looks like it's electronic throttle, but you can get those kind of options installed. It's cheap. It's not an R6. Anyway, yeah, there's no electronics on this bike. It's like literally just a bike. Parallel twin. The torque curve is great. Still 6-speed. The big things that I will note that are like, it's really easy to ride out there, honestly. The racing, like the riding position is still relatively racy without being like way too crazy off the deep end. Your rear sets are pretty low, so it's comfortable for a standard person, but it's not like so far down that you're super upright and on a naked bike. So it's still kind of got that super sport vibe-ish. But it's a parallel twin, easy to ride, cheap, kind of supposed to replace the R6, I think, on the market to a degree. Whether or not that is actually true, I don't think so. I don't think it's anywhere near that. I haven't ridden an R6 yet, but I've ridden some Gixxers, I've ridden a 675, ridden a couple other things, and it's not there. But it's a parallel twin, so that's kind of what you expect. So as far as whether or not I would recommend it as a track bike, I think the price point and the ease of riding and the lightweightness of the bike make it a very, very viable option for just about anyone. If you're looking to go fast, out on the racetrack, I don't know that I would recommend this one. That being said, you know, at Barber, it's not a super long straight there. I still got her well up over 100 miles an hour. The big things that I noticed, like I said, were just kind of like, no matter where you're at on the track, if you mess up a gear change or you don't make a gear change in time or you pick the wrong gear going into a turn, the bike doesn't really care. It's kind of got this like flat torque curve all the way throughout. So you can just, okay, I wanted to be in third, but I'm in fourth. Gas it out and you'll be all right. Beyond that, honestly, I think it sounds pretty good, even for being a little parallel twin. I didn't think it would sound very good, but this one's got some aftermarket exhaust. I'll start it up for you here in a second so we can kind of get some sound clip for you. But yeah, I mean, I don't even have a whole lot else to say about it. It was fun. It was a fun ride. It still leans over just fine. It handles really well. It's so lightweight that you can't really like complain about it, but it's still kind of got that super sport-ish ergonomic, like I mentioned. You got the lower foot peg, you got the higher handlebars, but they're not handlebars, they're still clip-ons. All those different things kind of give it that sporty feel, which is great. So 10 out of 10, maybe not quite 10 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10. If you're looking for something that's a really good introduction bike and you haven't spent much time on a motorcycle or much time on the track, this is definitely a great bike for you. And it's really cheap on the market. It's competitor to the RS660, comes in, I think, $2 or $3, maybe even $4,000 more. So this guy's like nice and cheap. Very basic. You're not going to get all the nice electronics. You're not going to get all the cool packages and whatnot with it. But as far as like just a raw motorcycle to take the racetrack, can recommend this all day long. I like it. Lazy man's bike, maybe a little bit. Still fun, absolutely. Nice and skinny, nice and lightweight. Great for just about anyone. Doesn't sit too tall. Seating position is still comfortable without being way too racy, but it's not so far comfortable that you feel like you're not even on a race bike anymore. And you still got, I think, let's see, the rear. Yeah, the rear's still a 180 and the front's a 120. So you're not running a super skinny tire in the rear either. So you're gonna have, that's kind of where that super sport ergonomic comes in. So anyway, we'll get you a quick exhaust clip and then we'll close out the video. All right, we'll go ahead and start this thing up, give her a little bit of a rev. There is aftermarket exhaust on this. It's SC Projects exhaust. If you have one of these bikes, I highly recommend it. It sounds pretty freaking good. There's the idle. It's not quiet either. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me over it, but give it a few revs. Nothing too crazy. As I said, I was surprised when I first got this thing over at my house. I was listening to it. I was like, dude, that sounds good for an R7, like a little parallel twin. Usually they sound like dirt bikes. Thing's got a kind of nice growly tone to it. Rev match downshifting it out on the straights and, you know, out in turns is great. The brakes are brakes. They feel fine. They're nothing special. There's nothing that's like, oh my God, this is the best bike in the world, but there's also nothing that makes this bike like that I could say, no, I don't recommend it. So, especially with the price that it comes in at, 100% would recommend it. For a first track bike, it'd be great. Might be a little bit more expensive if you go buy a new, but I think if you buy them used, they're coming in nice and cheap. Great starter bike. Gonna teach you plenty of good things. So go pick yourself one up, ride to the racetrack, and then you'll be an R7 guy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.